is something that we enjoy, something that we have, and if for some reason we suddenly find ourselves within a crazy pace of life, and we haven't done that for a few days or whatever, that we should suddenly have this craving, thinking, I need this back in my life.
If you're totally determined, you're pre-wired to think the way you do. You're rising above the bondage of total subjectivity.
I suppose the first thing that causes people to think that maybe the Christian faith has failed them, or they believe that it may well fail them, would be what I would call philosophical categories. A fear that the Christian faith is neither true nor real. Indeed, that's why many people think that it's actually a faith. It's because it isn't true and it isn't real, and therefore that's why you need faith to be able to believe it. And it never ceases to surprise me how many Christians fear or think or believe that maybe faith is ultimately psychological. It's something which they have to make themselves believe, something which they're able to believe despite any evidence. As I travel around the world, and I go to many different countries during the course of every year, one thing that I often hear people say to me is, Michael, look, I'm so happy that you're a Christian, and I wish I could believe what you believe, but I can't. And I often think about what people say to me, and I have often pondered what on earth this statement means. And what most people are saying to me is this: Michael, look, I am happy that you are happy. And I am so happy for you. And there seems to be a joy and a completeness about your life that I find slightly attractive. But the reason why you are happy is because you are a Christian. In other words, you believe in things that are not true or real. Now, what do you call people who believe in things that are not there? The answer is mad people. So what they're saying is, Michael, you are insane. But the main thing is that you are happy and insane. And I am happy that you are happy. As a matter of fact, I'm so desperate to be happy, I too would embrace insanity just to join you. But I can't do it. I've thought about it, but I just can't. It is that simple. Indeed, if you were to stop people on the street and ask them for a definition of faith, you would get a statement that goes something along these lines: faith is a persuasion of the mind that falls short of the truth. That's why you need faith to believe it. Faith is being able to believe in things that are not true. Strong faith, therefore.
In the Quran, it is the only historically claimed document that denies that Jesus Christ was actually crucified or died on the cross. Denies that. The Greek historians say he died on the cross. Roman historians say that. Pagan historians say that. Jewish historians say that, and Christian historians say that. The Quran is the only one that says it appeared to him that he died, but he didn't actually die on the cross. So historically, it is making an affirmation that is really historically untrue. I got into a discussion with Sheikh Hussein of the leading Shiite cleric in Damascus, Syria, a real gentleman. For over 3 hours we talked with an interpreter between us and an audience listening in. I was allowed to ask him one question about his faith, and he was allowed to ask me one question about mine. There was nothing, no rancor, no adversarial stance, just a perspective and counter-perspective and back and forth. It's the best way to do it, really. At the end of it, Sheikh Hussein looked at me. He was very respectful through the whole time, always referred to me as Professor Zacharias, Professor Zacharias. And then at the end, he looked at me, leaned over, and he said, you know, Professor, I think the time has come for us in the Islamic world to stop asking if Jesus Christ died and to start asking why. I said to him, may I quote you on that, sir? He said, yes, you may. I'm hopefully going to go there before long, and I hope we can meet up again. Origin, meaning, morality, and destiny. The Judeo-Christian worldview is not the only one that claims exclusivity, but it's the only one that takes those 4 questions with corresponding answers that are truthful and coherent answers that stand the test of time. And the ultimate answer of the resurrection from the dead that gives you hope and meaning.
Condition. Secondly, in the person of Christ as he is revealing God, the marvelous coalescing of absolutes in him. Time's running out, so let me race here. 2 years ago, actually a year and a half ago, I was asked to speak at the United Nations prayer breakfast. It was the second time they'd asked me to come, only this time I marveled at the subject, navigating with absolutes in a relativistic world. You get up at 6:30 in the morning to speak on that. And then you're told you have 25 minutes. And then you're further told you cannot bring religion into it. I said, I'll make a deal. 20 minutes, your subject, last 5 minutes, why I believe in what I do as being the only answer to this struggle. Okay, we agree. So I talked about the search for 4 absolutes: evil, justice, love, and forgiveness. How do you define evil? How do you define justice? What is true love? And when you blow it, how are you forgiven? They all nodded their heads. I said, now I want to ask you with 5 minutes to go, do you know of one event in the world where these 4 converged? I said, they converged on the cross of Jesus Christ. Evil was seen for what it was. Justice was met out by a righteous and a holy God. Love was displayed unparalleled to a point where he looks at a young man and says, take care of her. She's now your mother.